everyone. This is my video about the disaster game, which was part of our week 3 ongoing learning task. The first game that I played was the tsunami disaster. This is the top left-hand corner of the map on the hard setting. And as you can see here, it's hard to see, but on the left-hand side, there's a few little huts there down quite low to water level just about. This was evident across the whole map. A lot of the little communities down low to the water. So, development you can see here have sort of moved the settlement around and placed everyone up and as high as I could get them, and they ended up being on that little patch of land right up against the water there. Can't quite see it in the map there, but I did also put in a big line of breakwater out in the ocean, so that was just trying to mitigate the force of the tsunami coming through. This map itself had requirements of schools and I believe also hotels getting built, so you can see there's 4 hotels in there and also some schools and hospitals. Also in the bottom of the picture there you can see an early warning system, so that was part of the town hall, I think it was. So I upgraded that with some emergency radio systems and alarms for early warning to the local residents for evacuation. This ended up working quite well in the scheme of ended up with 52 dead and 53 injured. I mean, it's nowhere near perfect out of 500 people, but it seemed to be the only thing I could really think of is just get everyone up as high as they could get them and see what happened from there. Second game I did was the fire disaster. So this one here was in a dry area in Australia. It was supposed to be designed around, so everything sort of got dry bush and dry grasslands around the houses. So what I did was sort of locate most of the township in this one little spot on the map here. You can see this is before I've done anything, but I cleared out all of that dry grass and the dried and dead trees you can see there. This here is after the fires happened, so you can see the burnt spots, but all of these trees surrounding the little township I created, I cleared them out as just a fire break so the fire couldn't come through and start any sort of havoc. I also put in the 2 hospitals and 2 schools, so that'd help with sheltering some of the general public if they didn't have any housing. Some of those houses there also upgraded a bit to have water tanks and fire suppression systems, so sprinklers on the roof and a few other bits and pieces just to try and help if any embers got caught in the wind and landed on the houses. So this one ended up working very well. I think that was in part being the second game. I knew what I was doing, but ended up with no damage, no population dead, nobody injured. So I was pretty pleased with how this one went. Didn't end up getting as high a final score. I think that had something to do with the bonus key facts that were found, but that was really just to do with upgrading different buildings with extras. But in the end, I think this one I actually did better in with the just clearing out the bush and saving a bit of money and putting the township in one little spot and making sure that everybody was safe.